is there's a kind of problem with this first model, because everyone kind of knows this. This is nothing, you will not be surprised by this model. You say, oh yeah, I know what quick fix is, I know what stay fix is, I've seen it happening. The problem is that there's like a little tunnel that goes from thinking about prevention back into you can't win them all. And we kind of know we're going through that tunnel when we say things like, you know, we really ought to sort this problem out, but, you know, crikey, we haven't got time this week, and I haven't got time. Tell you what, we'll put it off until 2015, and then we'll sort it all out. And so, progressively, people are kind of driven to kind of work in this quick fix way, because there's like this little tunnel, there's a little shortcut that goes back into thinking about prevention, back into you can't win them all. Now, this is where I think the job of leadership comes in big time. And it comes in big time because I think the job of leaders is to actually, in a sense, block off that tunnel so that people are more inclined and more able to work in a stay fix way. And I think the way to do this, as I've indicated on the other sheet, this one up underneath here, planning is absolutely critical. In other words, don't try and do stay fix with absolutely everything. Choose where to go, and then you're more likely of success. But it's also about role modelling. And what I mean by this is that unless the leaders are actually practicing stay fix, then it won't happen. It simply just won't happen. People will look at leaders, if the leaders are still practicing all the kind of good troubleshooting firefighting stuff, then the message is sent out very clear in the organisation, that's what counts around here, that's what you've got to do to get ahead, that's what will carry on happening. So the leaders have to role model, along with plan, working in a stay fix way. And of course, to make all this work in an elegant and smooth way, you need some good tools and techniques. But each one of these combines together to create cultural change. And all of these ingredients are required to get to this point. And by cultural change, I mean, and defining it in the classic, I think is it Uchi who said this, is that culture is the way things we do around here. Is that the way things we do around here have got to become more stay fix than quick fix, so that when people come to work, well, I guess quick fix is a bit like leaving home without brushing your teeth. Quick fix is brushing your teeth and feeling good about it, so that it becomes an easy thing to do. They're seeing their leaders do it, they know where to do it because it's been planned and carefully prioritised, and they've got the requisite tools and techniques, and all of that combined together creates the kind of cultural change that actually makes it work. Oh, I'll squeeze that into the frame there, it's got a bit skew-if. So that's about how you make this come alive. Now, the real challenge, I would say, is if you look in most organisations, there's an awful lot of resources that are spent on doing the business, and rightly so, because that's what the organisation is all about. There's also, of course, resources spent on quick fix. Oh, wrong colour pen, where's it gone? On quick fix. On stay fix here, sorry. And then, of course, there's also resources we've already established spent on quick fix. Now, in any organisation, you can divide the activities, where people spend their time, where people spend their budgets, into one of these three boxes. Yeah, and you've got to be brutally honest with yourself. Is that a quick fix, is that a stay fix, or is that really what we've been paid to do, without any mistakes and problems occurring? Now, when it comes to slicing the budget, as many organisations, both public and commercial, are having to do right now, the question is, how do you slice? Now, many people slice like that. In other words, what they're slicing is not only the stuff that's waste, this stuff here, they're also slicing what they can be doing about improving the organisation, and they're even slicing what the organisation is meant to be doing in the first place. Far better, and this is obviously idolised, is to slice like that. So you get rid of all that quick fix activity by investing in stay fix. So in a sense, you can judge the leadership of an organisation almost by the angle of their slice. If they slice horizontally, then they're not good leaders, because they're not thinking strategically, they're not thinking in the long term. If they slice vertically along this model, then there's a much greater chance that organisation will survive and carry on delivering good services, good products to the people that depend upon it, people who want their services and customers and so forth. So I guess the question for you, as you're watching this video, is in your organisation, whether you're the person doing the slicing or the person subject to it, is where do you think the angle is? Is it vertical, is it horizontal, or is it some version somewhere in between? Because that will be the measure of whether you're likely to succeed. The best organisations, the most successful organisations, the businesses that will survive this recession will be the ones that have worked out where their quick fix are and will be targeting that ruthlessly. The poor organisations are ones that will fail. The ones that will keep on failing are the ones that will just not be aware of just how much damage they're doing to their organisation. So the essence of all of this, ultimately, is if this is your organisation here, and we've got a mixture of doing the business, and we've got a mixture of stay fix, and we've got a mixture of quick fix. If the proportions are something like that, that, and that at the moment, what we really want in the future is a lot more resources spent on doing the business, perhaps a bit more spent on quick fix, and stay fix, and a lot less spent on quick fix, so that somewhere down here is we're actually releasing more for doing the business and less spent on quick fix. And maybe the way of thinking about it is on your organisation, where do you think you are on that path? And how are you going to actually get further up this end here so there's less spent on quick fix altogether? Now this is a model, as I say, I've been working with for a long time. I've written about it on my blog. You're welcome to read it there. There's a couple of diagrams that can reflect what I've just drawn here as well. You can access that all from my main website, which is johnharveyassociates.co.uk, and there are links there to the blogs and to my Twitter feed and everything else like that. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please leave comments below. Would love to hear from you and tell me whether this model works for you or not. I know it's a very simple model. And the world is a complex place, but maybe within the simplicity and this idea of this kind of quick fix, stay fix. And if you remember nothing else, just remember this model here about the quick fix circle and the stay fix one, and the importance of role modelling as well. Then I hope that maybe that might help you and your organisation and your colleagues come through this these austere times and build a more wealthy, a more healthy, and a safer world for everybody who lives on it. Anyway, thanks for listening.